Is your Shopify store leaving money on the table? Without you even realizing it, I've had over 1,000 stores send me the links to their stores for a full-on roast. Today, I'm breaking down 4 of those stores. I'm going to expose conversion killers, the exact money mistakes keeping them stuck, and I'm going to reveal some quick fixes that you can use to cash in on your traffic. Because what's the point of posting on social media, throwing money at paid ads, if those clicks aren't even becoming customers? Now, I'm Mike, your new favorite e-com marketer. I help grow and scale our air freshener brand to over $1.2 million in Shopify sales in the last 3 years alone. And not just our brand, I've helped thousands of online store owners scale their brands to 10K, 20K, 50K, even $100,000 months. So I know just a little bit about what works now. I'll be dropping fixes, value bombs, and I'm going to break down how you can get your store featured on a teardown just like this. You ready to dive in? Let's go. So first off, we're reviewing shopdollbehavior.com. This is a new and upcoming luxury swimwear brand, looking to grow aggressively, but having a hard time getting their store traffic to convert into sales. Some of the things I like about it is the imagery. The imagery showcases your brand, showcases models in different shapes, sizes, and tones. We do have like some messaging that kind of calls out to our customer avatar. But the biggest issue I see with your store so far is that we are unknowingly leaking conversions all over the place. And it's going to cost you a lot of money. First off, this pop-up that we have right here. First of all, what is this asking me to do? Why don't you be a doll? Get 10% off your next order when you subscribe. Enter your emails, subscribe, or shop at Shop Doll Behavior. And then there's this link to Instagram right here. Boop. Oh, now I'm not shopping anymore. That is a conversion killer. Because the first thing I saw when I landed on your store was that pop-up. And the first thing it did was send me away from your store. That is not getting someone down the purchase path. We need to make sure that when we are using pop-ups like this, that there is a clear visual indication of what they should be doing next. The number one thing that you want this pop-up to do, it has one job. That is to get someone to subscribe. The most money you're going to make is from email, text message, marketing. We don't want to give them options. We don't want them going to Instagram, God forbid. The only thing that you want them to do here is sign up for your email list. This right here, costing us conversions right now, but pretty easy to fix just by leading with a sexy offer. Get rid of any links to Instagram or anything, sending them away from pop-up. Get rid of this right here because this stands out a lot more than your call to action button. And that is going to help you maximize what you're getting out of a pop-up like this. Now, when it comes to just your homepage in general and the structure, it's not clearly directing traffic where it needs to land. And that's adding friction to your purchase process. So what do I mean by that? We have like a call to action button above the fold. That's not bad, but it doesn't really do a good job of telling us what you sell from this screen right here. I can't really tell what we're selling. Navigation doesn't really provide me very much clarity. Messaging up here talks about some stores ship now, others ship next week. What is the main thing that I want to be doing from this home page? As I start to scroll down, I'm halfway down the page now. Now I finally get some messaging kind of describing more about what your brand is about, giving me your unique selling proposition. And then down here, all the way down here, more than halfway down the page, now I can actually see the different collections of what you're selling. So because it's taking me so long to be able to navigate and find different things, that's creating friction. Most people are not going to scroll. Everybody's got TikTok and real brains, right? Making decisions in 45 seconds. You have to direct your traffic quickly to get them to the finish line in as few steps as possible. Like I like the vibe and it kind of matches the doll. Like I really like the branding that we're going for here, but the strategy is where we are missing out on opportunity. Again, here we go, sending people off to Instagram. That is costing us conversions. The other thing we want to definitely point out that is definitely costing us some money is our actual product pages. Shopify says that the first most important step to getting someone to buy something on your store is to do what? To get them to add to cart. That's the first thing. We are here. And in the section where I should be focusing all their attention on adding to cart and why they should add to cart, I have multiple options, Shop Pay, more payment options, share. What do I want to share? Oh, maybe I could share it on Twitter or X. Oh man, what login do I want to use? Am I shopping? Where am I right now? Then my phone rings. It's cost us a customer. So you can see how just things like this can cost you money, cost you sales. Your product page should never send someone away from your store under any circumstances. Everything that your product page, aka your virtual sales guy, does should be designed to get them to add to cart. The other thing that we definitely want to make sure we're doing on our product page that is really costing us sales is we are putting all the risk on the customer. When you have return policies like final sale, no exchanges or returns, now that might help you as a seller, especially if you have limited inventory, it's handmade. Look, I get it. But what this actually does is this creates a tremendous amount of risk for a customer because they're like, well, what if I don't like it? What if it doesn't fit? What if the company screws me over? You know, there's so many things that can creep into a person's mind. And when you tell them they have no exchanges or returns, they have to nail this order the first time. Can you see how something like that could lead to cart abandonment? Under no circumstances would we ever want to put all the risk on our customers. The job of your product page is to sell the dream and remove objections. And there are different ways to remove objections while still protecting ourselves. Maybe we give them store credit. Maybe we can swap free exchanges. I know you don't want to do exchanges, but if you can't get people to buy from you in the first place, then having protection like this does what? You'd much rather have enough customers coming in that the 3-5% that are a pain in the butt, they don't block the other 95%. Does that make sense? Now, just to recap with the shop dog behavior, we do our welcome pop-up, make a stronger offer, and make sure it's super clear the one thing that you want them to do from that pop-up, which is to sign up for follow-up from you. Get email, get phone number. We want to clean up our homepage, make sure our different collections are showing in our navigation, and the messaging that we're using on our different banners is sending them to our different collections and driving traffic. And then we want to make sure that we are beefing up our product pages, not linking away from our store, and definitely not putting all the risk on our customers if they want to do business with us. Next up, we are going to be reviewing Valentino Pet Paws. Now, this brand does really well on Amazon, but Shopify is a different beast, and she's struggling to run ads to the store profitably. So some of the things that I like is the different videos that we have on the store. It shows the product in motion. It shows dogs, dogs being dogs. It's visually captivating, especially if you're a pet lover like myself. I've got a German Shepherd laying right next to me here in my office. But here's the problem. From the moment your store loads, the store design and user experience are actually handicapping your conversion rate. You see, good store user experience leads to higher user satisfaction, increased conversion rates, better SEO, more reach on social media, and better ROI from ads. But poor user experience can lead to higher bounce rates, low engagement, and it makes every single thing that you do besides that time consuming. So here are some of the things that we are messing up when it comes to our store design and user experience. First off, we have the 5-second test. Now, when someone first arrives to your store, you have about 5 seconds to let them know they're in the right place, let them know what you sell, let them know what you should do next, all without them having to scroll down. So when I arrive, yes, I see a dog, I see this one toy, high energy tug toy, shop now. Okay, that pushes me to one thing, but that doesn't give me clarity on what your store is about. Doesn't give me clarity on what else you might carry here. Because of the way the visual, I see an image here, but I also see, high speed videos down here. It's just really drawing my attention away from this primary message that I'm supposed to have here. In addition to that, I don't have any sort of store navigation. So someone that is arriving for the first time, they can't really tell what you sell or what else you sell. If they happen to land on, say, a product page, they still can't get around to our different collections. What they can do is that, and now here I am on Instagram, but I can't buy from your store on Instagram. So the last thing that we want to do when someone arrives on our store is send them away or not be able to give them clarity on exactly what we carry and what we do. This can cost you a ton of money. And it's important because unlike Amazon, where Amazon comes with a built-in level of trust and confidence, on Shopify, you need to build up that trust. We have to feel confident doing business with you the first time. And things like this can shake their confidence. The other thing that really pops out is just the massive, we have call to action overload. Shop now, shop now, shop now, shop view. Like, it's because we have so many different call to actions, and the call to actions don't even necessarily match what someone is seeing. That is going to really dilute your conversion rate because people are going to land in destinations that they don't expect to land in. A dog needs a job, so he's not bored. Shop now. Shop what? Or here, join the community. What community would I be joining? Shop now. Here I am on a product page again. So we have so many different call to action buttons all over the place because there is not clarity on what's going to happen when someone clicks it. Is going to hurt your overall conversion rate. What you want to do is be very strategic with your call to actions. One, make sure that there's a color that has contrast from your primary branding color. You need something that pops out and is easy to see. If you use a lot of red, you don't want your call to action buttons to be red. Second, we want to be clear on what someone is going to experience when they click. Even with a primary banner like this, give your dog a workout, shop now. Okay, yeah, it makes sense we shop now for a tug toy. But if we carry more than just this tug toy, wouldn't it make sense to get them to, say, a bestsellers page or something where they can learn more about the type of products that we're selling here? Or here, your dog needs a job so he's not bored, shop now. We're not preparing someone for the destination at all here. So instead, even by adding some messaging to clarify, hey, shop the whatever the name of this toy is, or send them to like a different collection, or they can learn more. But we want to be more clear on the destination that the user can expect when they click one of these buttons. I have another video here. It's not necessarily pushing to anything. Amazon is not like this. Everything that you click and do on Amazon has a purpose. You click this, it goes to this collection. You click this, it takes you to this specific product. You click that, it takes you to checkout. Everything is strategic. There's not a lot of wasted energy. How we are just organizing our store is part of the reason why you're struggling to run your ads profitably. The other thing that is, again, hurting your overall conversion rate is, again, your product page structure and just the visual hierarchy. So this one here isn't as bad as one of the other ones that I just saw, but you do want to, make sure you're selling a dream, overcoming objections, and not having your sales guys take your customers by the hand and walk them out of your store. That's what we just did there. remove all links to social media from your product pages. That's not me talking, that's Shopify telling you that. Nowhere in here does it say we get extra points or bonuses by sending someone to social media. No, add to cart. That's it. Don't have them do anything but that. Add to cart. And just notice the green versus the red. So you want to be consistency. How this button pops out compared to the rest of the red. So incorporate that same thing with your other call to action buttons. Or you need to make sure your products are, again, selling a dream, removing objections. We're not really doing that. Here you're telling them to ask you a question. So this is going to lead to a ton of cart abandonment because we need to give them all the information that they need in advance so they feel confident adding to cart and not feeling like, oh, I still have a bunch of questions. Let me message you. Hey, how does shipping work? Like, tell them in advance. That's this product. Then you had a different one that was really kind of all over the place. All right, so this one, for example, and this is probably your flagship product here, I'd imagine. But we have all this messaging kind of stacked up here. Then we have this, and then here's the add to cart down here. We have a bunch of add-ons, but we haven't necessarily sold the product yet before we're trying to make the sale and add a bunch of things. So here we have some shipping information, free shipping on orders over 105. You see how this is a little bit different? And then we're telling a bunch of shipping options. The messaging is changing based on where we go. Again, that's what I mean about user experience and how that can create doubt. Like that removes trust, that removes confidence. Amazon does not do that. Amazon does not tell you that it's shipping in one way or shipping in another way. And, we got this, and let me tell you why I could ship it for that or why I'm going to charge you this. There's still uncertainty. Is it $3.99 or is it $9.99? You need to have a consistent flat rate shipping fee. You need to have a consistent free shipping threshold so we don't surprise anybody at checkout. That's the last thing that we want to do. As you scroll down the page, and here we have some messaging, this type of thing that needs to be higher up. And here, tap that. Now it's taking me back up to here. It's a little bit clunky. I see a video, and I see some more videos here. Again, I like them, but because it's so much movement on my screen, is what I mean about visual hierarchy. We're not guiding people the way that we need to guide them. How information is being presented, how the dream is being sold, how objections are being addressed. This is creating friction in the purchase process, and that is going to hurt your overall sales, especially with a Shopify versus Amazon. Someone will come here and be like, I would rather buy this on Amazon because Amazon's product pages aren't structured like this. Recap, we need to streamline our homepage navigation. Let's get some of the other products that you sell up here in the navigation so someone can actually see what else you carry. Maybe they want to get a few other things. Let's be more strategic with our calls to action and use banners to push to different collections. Make sure that our buttons are really connected to the action that someone should take next and they know what to expect by clicking that. And then of course, let's clean up our product pages to be more consistent and showcase more authentic looking social proof while addressing some of those customer objections. Something like that is definitely going to help you increase your conversion rate and convert more of these clicks into customers. And that's going to make you a ton more money. The next store we are going to break down is the oliveleopard.com. Now, this is a kids jewelry store that is having a hard time hitting their first 10K month. So let's break down a little bit of what we got going on here. Now, I think this is a really cool concept, and I can see it doing well if it's positioned and marketed the right way. I have a student doing 40 to 75K a month selling kids jewelry. I know for a fact this stuff can do really well, a ton of potential for you with a cool concept. The bad is our overall store design. Our store design is crippling your conversion rate. That's going to make it difficult for you to scale your store up, and it's definitely going to make it hard for you to be able to run ads profitably enough to hit your sales goals. So let's break a couple of these things down and why they're hurting us. So first off, just with our homepage, one, we're using one of the free Shopify themes. If you're looking to scale to 10K plus and beyond, these free Shopify themes they're just not going to get you there. They have a ton of limitations from how they're structured, how they're designed, what it allows you to do out of the box. You're going to get a lot further using a premium theme or something that is going to be designed to boost your overall conversions. Again, your goal is to maximize the amount of people that make it through adding to cart, checking out, and completing their purchases. So one of the things that is definitely hurting us, just again from a design perspective, like this is easy to read. When you have black text on colors, it's hard for most people online to read. That's why pretty much every book that you've ever read, is white text with, white background with black text, because that's the easiest for most people to read. We're conditioned that way. And if people aren't consuming our information, then they're not going to make a purchase. So we really want to just avoid using kind of small text and, again, black on a color is just really going to lower our overall legibility and is going to make it harder for our store to convert at a high rate. It's also going to hurt your UX score, which can impact your SEO and what you pay if you decide to run ads. It can even limit your reach on social media. So user experience is very important. Another thing that we see here doing is you're half selling here. Let's say that someone lands on this page here and they can't really tell everything you sell. Shop now, tiny doodles, timeless jewelry, boom. And then they see this doodle charm here. Now, the issue with putting it on this homepage like this is this product requires some explanation, doesn't it? How to customize it, what it's made of, how to use it. There is a lot of information that goes into turning this into what someone wants. But when you half sell it like this, or you're showing the charm doodle, giving, bare bones information right here, what happens is someone can say no. Like, it's okay. I'm good. They didn't get the full sales message. And if we got them to the destination they need to land on with more selling information by addressing their questions, concerns, objections, maybe we could get them across the finish line to make a purchase. But because we are half presenting it here, someone can say no to it now, and now I've lost the opportunity to get a customer. It's definitely not something that we want. All right, let's take a look at one of these product pages now. So when it comes to our product page, one of the big issues that we have here is it's not clear right away how I'm supposed to customize it, how it's supposed to work. Like the drag and drop your file or browse, like it's kind of grayed out. It's not clear that this is the first thing that someone should do. It's not clear, what file am I dragging in? What are we talking about here? Again, it's very easy to scroll past this add to cart button. There's the number one thing that you should do on your product pages is get someone to add to cart. But look how easy it is for me to scroll right past a button like that. I can scroll right past the number one thing I need to do to even start the purchase process. In fact, the thing that pops out the most on this page is what? This buy with Shop Pay button. That's because Shopify understands how to use colors to catch the eye and direct attention. They get a cut if you check out with Shop Pay. That's why that button screams at you versus everything else on the page being, kind of easy to scroll right on past. So we need to make sure that the steps that someone needs to do to check out and complete their purchase are very clear and really scream at us. We have to scroll all the way down to even see how to order. And that's assuming that we're going to watch this video and that we're not going to scroll right past it. We're not addressing how shipping works. We're not addressing how our return policy works. All these are things that are going to significantly impact our conversion rate and stop us from being able to sell to people that don't already know, like, and trust us. And the last thing that's really going to hurt you when it comes to just being able to scale this to 10K a month or more is when you only sell one product like this, you're going to burn through your family and friends and followers really quickly, even if you're using email marketing. What you need to make sure that you're doing with something like this is it's incredibly important that we are actually advertising, using paid ads to get outside of the people that are following us on social media, to get outside of social media algorithms and go after people that are interested in jewelry, after people that have like kids. The best place to do that would be Facebook and Instagram. What I would recommend for you would be using an ad, kind of like one of my students, just $40,000 to $75,000 a month. Here you can see she's got 138 purchases of this kid's jewelry. And let me show you what this actual ad looked like.
Obsessed with you. Yeah, yes, I am.
So look how simple that is. It's not that it has to be something hard or difficult or complicated. Look how simple that ad was. But look at how much social, over nearly 5,000 likes, 460 comments, almost 1,000 shares because of what it is. And it's just showcasing it. You could do something very, very similar for a charm like this, showcasing it in the light. Maybe, again, you have a picture, but if you use a video to show, oh, this is the art, this is what it looks like, show your child how much you love their artwork. I mean, the ad writes itself. And that's going to help you get in front of people that aren't already following you, don't already know about you, and would potentially be interested in something like this. So if you can start getting in front of those type of people, send them over to an optimized product page in store, then you could start racking up sales and conversions very, very, very quickly. So you definitely have a ton of potential here, but this is something that you really want to dial in if you're going to have any hope of hitting some of the sales goals that you have. As to recap, you want to invest in a better store theme and improve your overall homepage layout. We want to enhance our product page gallery. I would probably put some how to set it up in our gallery here and make sure that people can clearly see step one, step two, so they really understand the first thing they have to do would be to actually upload the kids' artwork right here. Very easy to scroll past, and use short homemade videos showcasing the doodle charm that can stop people in their feed and help you get in front of new audiences. That's going to help you scale up fast. Now we are going to audit scentwickcandles.com. This candle and wax melt store sells well in person and at pop-up shops, but they're having a hard time scaling online. So let's talk about some of the good things. I like that we have, this featured in the social proof information here. And of course, you're also selling consumable goods that someone can buy time and time again. We sell air fresheners and incense. We did close to $500,000 last year on Shopify alone. So I know there's a massive market of scent lovers out there that go crazy over this type of stuff right here. The bad news is your online shopping experience is kind of clunky and you risk limiting the amount of people making it from landing on your store to getting across the finish line the first time. The most difficult job of sellers like us, where we sell things that need to be smelled or tasted, is getting someone to make that first purchase from us. If your online shopping experience is clunky, that's going to create doubt and it's going to make it hard for you to get someone across the finish line. First off, let's talk about our store visuals. This risks turning traffic away at the door because, one, it's just really hard to read this. Right now you have this brown background font, or brown background, but then we also have brown messaging. And maybe that's kind of like in your mind on brand because it's kind of earth tones. That I understand, but it's really hard to read that. You'll find users that will literally have to copy and paste this onto a white background just to be able to read what it says. If people can't read what it says, you're going to have a hard time getting them across the finish line. We need to make sure that there is contrast. The easiest fix for this is to get rid of this like tan background and go with a white background. What that is going to allow you to do is your text is going to be much easier to read and pop out. Your call to action buttons are going to pop out a lot more. It's going to be easier for you to get people into the purchase process. It's going to help you lower your bounce rate, get better results from any eyeballs that you send to your store. Again, clean up this background, change it to a white. It's going to help everything pop out and be a lot more clear, because right now it's very difficult to read. The other thing that is limiting your sales right now is there's no real strong offers on here. Again, when you sell consumables, something that someone can use time and time again, the most important job that you have is to get them across the finish line the first time. You can sell well in person. Why? They can smell the milk. You're right there to, make them feel confident. But there's so much that happens initially. Online, it's different. They don't have that ability to smell it. There's more inherent risk of, will I like how it smells? Will I like how it tastes? That sort of thing. So the type of offers that you use to get someone to make it across the finish line the first time is incredibly important. The lifetime value of someone that loves your candle is through the roof. So be aggressive to get them to make a purchase the first time. 10% off is extreme. It's easy to ignore. If it's a $30 candle, I'm saving $3. Right? But what if I did like a buy one, get one free initial offer? Well, now I'm listening. The offer is so good, it outweighs my fear, uncertainty, and doubt about doing business with you the first time. Oh, it's a sexy offer. Okay. I'll give them a chance. And now all of a sudden, I like the melts. I like how some of this stuff works. I could give you a free wax melt with one of these warmers, a free candle with one of our candle stands, that sort of a thing. Just by really making their offers sexier and making it easier for someone to do business with us is going to help you get people across the finish line that much faster. Now, other thing I want to point out is just like the shopping experience itself is a little bit clunky. Boom, shop wax warmers. So now clicking that, now I'm on another collection page. Okay, wax melt and candle warmers. Got some information. Again, hard to read, small text with a font that really blends into the background. Very difficult to read. Click that. Wait, I'm on another collection page now. How do I get to what I was? Let me hit the back button. Okay, now I'm back on the wax and candle too. Okay, now let me start shopping. Just things like that. We take from a home page to a collection to another collection. What you're doing is you're extending the purchase process. You're creating extra steps in your checkout and conversion process. You're making it harder and longer for someone to get to the all-important add to cart. You want to be able to get someone from point A to point B in as few steps as possible. So when you give them a bunch of stuff, what we're doing is unnecessarily dragging out that purchase experience, and we're going to lose sales and customers along the way by doing that sort of a thing. As we come to our home page or come to a product page here, again, we're still keeping a lot of the risk on the customer. What if they don't like it? If I don't spend enough to get free shipping, how much am I going to pay? I can't see that anywhere. Telling me, there is a lot of risk inherent with how our store is structured. You're going to have a lot of like abandoned carts. You're going to have a lot of need to think about it because they're not consuming the information that we need them to. We're not making our offers sexy enough. So here it says, free wax melt, but where does it really say that? It doesn't scream that at me. I have to come all the way down into a product page to really see that is an opportunity, when that needs to be a big play. To recap here, we need to clean up our color scheme to improve our readability and our user experience score. We definitely want to make sexier offers, especially off first purchase. 10% off is not going to cut it. You're going to make way more of somebody if they continue to shop with you and your stuff is good. And I'm sure it is. Make sexier, more aggressive offers for that first time purchase. And let's make sure that we are just streamlining our customers' purchase process and getting them from point A to point B much faster. Clean all that up, you're going to see an uptick in your conversion rate, and that is going to help you again see the sales lift that you are looking to see. So, did we notice a pattern with the stores that we looked at today? Your store's user experience, your product pages, the kind of offers you're making, all have a massive impact on what percentage of your store customers actually convert into leads and sales. And if you don't get these things dialed in, traffic is the last thing that you need to focus on. But if you can turn your store into a selling machine, then you can leverage paid ads, influencers, and social media. The whole nine, because your store is going to be able to make those clicks profitable for you. Does that make sense, you guys? All right. Now, if you didn't get your store covered today, but you want expert insight and ideas to help you expand your store, to help you grow your operation, to help you get better results from the traffic and eyeballs that you're sending to your store right now, I can help. Want the chance to get your store featured on a round of store teardowns just like this? I only do 2 sessions of these a month. So first come, first serve. Tap the link in the description below and you'll be able to submit your store link and a little bit of information. And if your store is selected, we'll reach out to you to let you know that we're going to be covering you on the next round of store teardowns. So make sure that you tap the link in the description below and use that to submit your store for a free store teardown on a store roast just like this. Or if you you want to skip the line, you can apply for a free store audit and strategy session with my team. So you'll find a link to do that in the description below as well. Now, if you want some expert insight on the exact type of ads that every Shopify store should be using to get in front of the right type of clicks and send them on over to your store, you need to watch this video next.